Hello, I'm ArchieLuxury and welcome to the program. And the following video is actually for free. I'm doing this for free because my good mate Nick Covich, he sent me a beautiful bottle of cognac some time ago. And I'd like to give a bit of value to him. And he goes, "Hi Archie, I'm looking at the following watches." Nick Covich is the one who was buying that fucking annual calendar Maurice Lacroix, and I told him not to do it. He backed out of the deal, and I was proud of him. He's now looking at the following watches: a Zenith Espada in silver, Frank Muller Casablanca or better, Rolex GMT Master 2 black ceramic, ArchieLuxury Reverso standard automatic model. I don't like the manual wind. What do you think about that, matey? That's really it. I don't really like any other watches at the moment. By the way, the Frank Muller boutique is by far the most beautiful boutique I've ever stepped into. Your fan, Nick. And I gotta say, Nick. For starters, let's back the truck up. Back the truck up. Now, I wouldn't be buying anything Zenith. Fuck me dead. I just did a video request for somebody who's stuck with a piece of shit, John, and you're going to buy a Zenith. They are hard to sell, very hard to sell. I personally would be staying away from the Frank Muller. Just do a Google search, Frank Muller, cocaine, and Russian mafia. That'll bring up the story about Frank Muller. Look, my advice to you is to buy a classic piece. Nick is a man who works for his money, and he works very hard. And he did say to me, "Hi Arch, I just had to write to let you know that I managed to return the Maurice Lacroix annual calendar. I hadn't yet paid for it." Yes, back out of the deal. It doesn't matter if you burn the friendship. You got to return that piece of fucking shit. Now let's have a look at his. Now the other thing is I'm a bit concerned with, and my good mate Simon Crane, they're looking at automatic reversos, and you fuckers don't understand. You fuckers don't understand. See, a lot of watches, you want the automatic. If you're buying a Patek, the automatics are more expensive. You're buying a Rolex, actually they don't have any manual in the rain now, besides Cellini and that, but they're all automatics now. But the automatics were always more expensive, and generally speaking, the automatics are better to get. However, not if you're buying an Omega Speedmaster Man on the Moon or a Reverso, because you've got to buy the Reverso in manual wind. Okay, you have to do that. That is what the Reverso is famous for. It's like, I don't know if you know much about classic cars, but they had the Mark II Jaguar. It was an early 60s compact sports saloon. Oh, the nasty punters drove them. The nasty punters, the Cray brothers, and nasty English villains. And the big thing is, Jaguar had the 2.4, 3.4, and the 3.8. And they had the Daimler division, which basically used the same bodies, but they put a V8 in it. But the whole thing is, the whole point of a Mark II Jaguar is that XK engine. That's what you want. You want that straight six. You don't want a dodgy 2.5 litre V8, which is what the Daimler had. The Daimler had this V8 in it. It's a Daimler 250. And that's not what you wanted. You wanted that 6. It's the same thing with the Reverso. You've got to buy a Reverso which is manual wind. My advice for Reverso: steel, on a leather strap, manual wind. Those three fucking things are what you've got to do. You're also asking about a Rolex GMT Master 2, black ceramic. Why the fuck are you buying new? Come on. Why would you buy new? You need to buy pre-owned. Pre-owned. We don't like buying new because we never get our fucking money back. The best GMT bang per buck watch at the moment is the Rolex Explorer 2 16570 Polar. Archie's got one. I've got it because it's great bang per buck. It's a GMT watch. It's automatic. It's got a date. It's got 2 time zones. It's just fucking amazing. And I bought mine. After tax back. $4,500, fuckers. So that's where I'd be. That's where the smart money goes. Stay away from Zenith. Stay away from Frank Muller. Frank Muller may have snooty boutiques. Snooty boutiques. But there's an ugly ETA under that fancy shit there. So personally, stick with icons. If you're going to buy a Reverso, please get the manual wind. And if you're going to buy a Rolex, I reckon the best bang per buck is second hand, not new. Why do you need to waste $10,000 when you can get a perfectly good second hand one? And get Twiggy something. Get Twiggy something. Nick will know what I'm talking about here. Get something for Twiggy. I'm Archie Luxury. Tell me what you fuckers think of that. Nice one, Arch. Great advice.
We specialize here in pre-owned Rolex watches. Rolex watch is a very special timepiece, and we always do the servicing exactly as factory specifications. We buy a pre-owned piece and we put it into brand new condition. We have Rolex certified technicians working on that. We completely disassemble the piece. We adjust and polish and change every single part of the watch.
You have to have certified watchmakers that know what they're doing. If you have an expensive car, you're just not going to bring it to any mechanic that doesn't know what they're doing.
You spend $5,000, it's like if you put money in the safe deposit box. And 1 or 2 years from now, you will keep having your $5,000. We have to spend a lot of money to get all this equipment together, but makes me feel I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. It's not a question of money, it's my passion.
Jewelers on time, simply the best.